in these streets.
Oh man, bro, we back at it again. Definitely had to jump on the live for this one, dog, because Lamont Roach put belt to ass on Tank Davis. Hey, Zoe, go ahead and mute your mic, man. You got a lot of feedback back there. Belt to ass on Tank Davis, bro. Now, here's my issue, and I'm gonna let the panel roast, man. You know, 2K gonna go last, man. But I'm gonna just say I'm gonna kick it off right now. You got cats now saying that Lamont Roach is this great fighter. So let me read, and I like this guy, so I don't want to put him on too much blast, man. But in a post that I wrote and shared on the Three Kings Boxing Facebook page, I said, robbery. Lamont Roach clearly won. This fight was not difficult to score. Gervonta Davis relied on his power, and it didn't help him this time around. This fight was literally the same story we have seen with Tank and his more recent opponents. He gets outboxed for much of the fight before ultimately catching and stopping his opponent. This time, though, Roach didn't fold and finish the job. Round 9 should have been counted a knockdown for Roach, as you cannot just take a fucking knee, get back up, and act like nothing happened. What's worse, Roach is not a highly skilled fighter. That's facts. That's not an opinion, bro. And we're going to break his resume down, and I'm going to tell you why he's not, right? He's not a highly skilled fighter. Struggled against guys like Orlando Cruz, Hector Luis Garcia, nearly knocked out by Jamel Herring, right? These are all C and B level fighters. Then on top of that, on the Three Kings Boxing page, when it shared over there, it was said not much else to say here other than now y'all know why Tank Davis was outside the Three Kings Boxing top 10 list, right? Fanboys gonna be mad for the rest of March. Shout out to Lamont Roach for exposing what we already knew about Tank. Now this dude goes in here and says, laugh out loud, nothing was exposed. That's ridiculous. Roach is a good fighter that fought a great fight. Somebody get that, dog. Anybody. Somebody get that, please.
Oh my God, no.
Roach's ass, man. Look, so the moment the fight was over, I went in Twitter and I said, let's not pretend Lamont Roach is a beast. Tank is just ass. Exactly. And it's been exposed. Exactly. We've been saying this shit for years. Niggas been fucking acting like this nigga's a beast, bro. You got stunned 3-4 times to a nigga who got no power. This nigga was able to frame and control you every time you try to duck under the throw overhand, right? He just controlled and framed you and got off his shots, my nigga. You're ass. You have no inside game. You very fucking basic. You rely on one punches at a time with no motherfucking work rate. You're trash, my nigga. Got exposed. And I hope all these fanboys see that. Why he didn't want to fight Shakur. Man, listen, I got a list of niggas who could beat him. Keyshawn beats him. Andy Cruz beat him. Shakur beat him. Fucking Ryan Garcia. Yeah, nigga. Man, Gary Russell might fucking beat him, nigga. If you want to go take that shit to 140, nigga. Fuck that.
Yeah, he said
nigga, Josh Padley will fucking beat. Okay, I'm tripping. Okay,
I'm about to say you going a little too far, bro.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Ice water on this nigga, man. He hot, bro.
Tell him why you mad, son.
Because these fans I already know these niggas are already gonna start saying, "Oh, he was thinking about retirement." Bruh, I never seen a nigga get punched in their face, take a knee, walk away, and explain to the ref, and then the ref like, "All right, cool."
And the ref started counting.
Yeah, and the ref started counting.
And then stopped counting.
Started counting. Stopped counting, said, hey, what was that? Oh, all right. Well, you just can't take a knee, right? What? Rules for this nigga now, bro?
On so many levels, that's so fucked. Like, number one, like if you take a knee, even if you didn't get hit, if you take a knee, you're saying timeout. You
exactly
the point for that timeout. You don't just get a timeout. The only person that can call a timeout with no repercussions is the referee. He didn't call the timeout. Second of all, you damn sure can't get treatment of any kind during a round with the clock running. The best they'll ever do is let you get, if you get your mouthpiece knocked out, is let the corner rinse it off and hand it back to you. That's it.
Exactly.
And then even with that, there has to be a break in the action for the referee determined to do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
See, the biggest problem that you have tonight is, right, and credit to my man, shout out to my man, Mike Wilson, he ain't on here. Mike said it a while back when he wrote the article, and motherfuckers tried to come at him, and over here at Three Kings, we gonna defend our shit. He said Tank is a one-dimensional fighter. Why? Because he waits to position himself to where his power becomes a factor, and he fucks around and stop you. Well, what do we find out tonight? When that power's not a factor, and a motherfucker can, and you do realize, I have to say Lamont Roach was mentally tough. Like, y'all don't understand
Absolutely.
that.
100%. Now,
Say,
if there's one thing that I give Lamont Roach credit for after this fight, besides the fact that he was able to judge distance very well, when Tank was basically trying to apply that pressure, was his mental faculties, bro. He kept his mental faculties in check, bro. Even when he was caught a few times by a lot of those Tank Davis's straight left hands or even those left hooks, right? Hell, he was countered to the body as well. Mental faculties stayed in place, bro. I got to give him credit for that. Go ahead, Bo.
And I'm just saying, so you had a guy who, in his mind, and me, see, that's the intangible that me and 2K talk about, right? If a nigga is there mentally, that's a motherfucker that's gonna be hard for you to do shit. Lamont Roach made up his mind, you ain't knocking me down, you ain't knocking me out. And Tank had no answer for nothing else after that. He didn't do no step over. He was missing. He got countered. Even got wobbled by a nigga with a 40% knockout ratio. Wobbled,
bro. Multiple times. He's 25 wins with 10 knockouts. That's Paulie Malignaggi type shit.
Okay. Yo, real quick. Tank, when Tank went down to 130, he hit Leo Santa Cruz with a lot of bombs before he put him down. Then when he brought up Hector Garcia to 135, he never put Hector Garcia down. Then he brought up Lamont Roach for 130. He couldn't hurt him. So I guess when you don't dehydrate niggas, your power's not on that, I guess.
Man, listen. This isn't – I don't want it to make this seem like this is a roast session on Lamont Roach, right? What I want to say – and I should have said this in the beginning of the show. Shout out to Lamont Roach. He fought an excellent fight, had an excellent game plan, and executed it towards the end. In the beginning of the fight, I did not agree with his game plan. The beginning of fight, he's basically waiting on Tank Davis to do something. I didn't agree with that. Exactly. The only problem is Tank Davis didn't know what the fuck to do because he's not a high-level fighter, guys. He's not a high-level fighter with a high-level IQ. If you're not pressing Tank and him just waiting on you to press so he can counter you, he doesn't know what to do. And it's crazy because when he fought Jose Pedraza, when he first became champion, IBF, 130 pounds, what was he doing? He wasn't sitting back waiting. He was pressing, right? He beat the dog shit out of Jose Pedraza. That's actually one of the only fights he really dominated in, bro, besides Yuriorkis Gamboa, right? A lot of the other fights, those guys were getting their shit too. But Jose Pedraza and Gamboa, the only two fights, higher level fights that you can say, that he really dominated, bro. And in both those fights, he's taking the fight to the fighter. So why didn't he do this against Lamont Roach, who only had 10 knockouts and 25 wins, bro?
And you know, something you touched on is Lamont Roach is kind of what I call a neutral fighter. He's not particularly aggressive. He's not passive, but he's not particularly aggressive. Like, he's not going to come after you. Now, when he got confident against Tank, he definitely did start coming after Tank.
He did.
He's not naturally, like, going to just jump across the ring and try to jump on you.
And that's where he was really beating Tank's ass when he came after him, right? Now, all you got to do to beat Tank, and this is fucking like Monday morning quarterbacking, but I've always told you guys, Tank is not a high-level fighter, bro. You just keep the jab out there, dog, and maintain distance. That's it. That's why guys like Shakur Stevenson and, yes, Devin Haney would have beat this nigga. That's why. Now, people are going to be like, Devin Haney lost to Ryan Garcia. I don't give a fuck about none of that. That's neither here nor there, right?
Exactly.
I don't give a shit about none of that. All I care about is what I saw tonight when it comes down to Tank Davis being able to handle a boxer that knows how to judge distance and that can press him at times. He couldn't do shit with that. If you can take Tank Davis's power and you can box, you will win. It's really what it's all about. Now, understand, guys, Lamont Roach doesn't have this great chin. Remember, Jamel Herring dropped Lamont Roach. Remember that. His chin isn't Canelo Alvarez or Gennady Golovkin or Terrence Crawford. Or, his chin isn't like that. He got dropped by Jamel Herring. And Tank still couldn't buzz this boy. So here's my issue with what that guy said on Facebook. If Lamont Roach is this great fighter, this good fighter, why is his resume so bleak? Why is he struggling against the LGBTQ community in Orlando Cruz? He got a draw in that fight. He got a fucking draw against an LGBTQ member who is outward. I'm sorry, bro. No disrespect to gay people, but I'm getting into a fight with a gay man. I'm not losing that.
He's getting Orlando Salido.
Right. I'm sorry. I'm not losing that, dog. I'm not losing that. And I'm not drawing it either. I'll bite the nigga ear off like Mike Tyson, then get disqualified before I get a draw.
I'll take an L before I take a draw.
I mean, shit, why not, nigga?
Fuck it, I'll just throw the fight myself. I can't beat this dude, I'm gonna throw the fight myself, right? He got a draw with Orlando Cruz, bro. He, like I said earlier in my post, he was nearly knocked out by Jamel Herring, guys. He struggled with Hector Luis Garcia.
She did.
Garcia, Herring, Cruz, these are C to mid-level B level fighters, guys. Lamont Roach's best win is Rene Alvarado, bro. And a Rene Alvarado that already had 10 losses. Not one that was a top, feared or highly respected contender in the sport of boxing. A Rene Alvarado that was damn near on the way out. I think he got 5 more losses after that Lamont Roach loss. Lost 5 or 4 more times after losing to Roach, bro. He was on the way out, but that's his best win. So how can you look at that resume and say that this guy is a good fighter? No. Tank's just not that good of a fighter.
I got a question for everybody on the panel. The first question is does Tank actually have a lead hand? Like, he'll throw little, blinding jabs, but if he had to fight behind his jab for a whole fight, could he do it?
No.
No.
Because Tank, you got to understand, when we first heard about Tank, it was never about his boxing ability, it was his power. Tank doesn't jab in the aspect of using the jab to control the fight, right? If Tank jabs, the only reason it's like a paw jab, just to see how close am I, and then I'm gonna try to hit you with I'm gonna try to hit you with this left hand, and he's only gonna do it once. He ain't gonna repeatedly do it because he's gonna do it once and he's just gonna stay like he did with Lamont Roach, right? He jabbed once and then just stayed there, looking to land power shots, and Lamont was catching him. Right, so he's not like he's repeatedly throwing the jab to control the fight or to try to maneuver you into a position. He's just doing to see how close I'm, okay, and then from then it's power shots with him. So he could never win a fight where he would have to use his jab in a significant way where it's being used in the way of, okay, I'm using this as a range finder to gauge where you are and keep you at distance. He'll never win a fight like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Let me talk a bit about what exposure means, because there's a lot of dumb motherfuckers that don't know what that means. Right. exposure is essentially when you are expected to do something.
Mm-hmm.
And let's keep it in terms of boxing. You are expected to have a certain outcome, right? And the fighter fought their fight and made you fight their fight, which derailed the popular outcome you were supposed to have. That's exposure. Everyone and their fucking mother. And you can look at the Las Vegas odds, bro. A lot of people lost money tonight. Everyone and their mother expected Tank Davis to win by knockout. Hell, even the damn DraftKings guy that they put on the damn shows for PBC was telling people pre-fight, hey, go for the knockout after round 7. That's what he said. So everyone and their mother, Las Vegas, all the casinos are saying Tank Davis by knockout. Not only did that not happen, Tank lost. That's called exposure.
Yeah. Got knocked down. Shit.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, bro, the scorecards are 115, 113, Tank 114, 114 for the other two judges. If the rules are not bent by Steve Willis and that knee taken by Tank Davis is scored a knockdown, right? On my scorecard, I felt like Tank still won that round. So I had it a 9-9 round. You take a point away from Tank, it's still 114-113 Lamont Roach on those other two scorecards, bro.
Yep.
Right? On the one that's for Tank, it's 114-113 Tank. That's a split decision win for Lamont Roach, guys. That's how he got robbed. Outside of the fact that he outboxed the shit out of Tank for the majority of the fight, I had this shit 8-4 for Lamont Roach. Outside of the fact that he outboxed this man for the majority of the fight, even if you were in line with the draw or you saw the draw, right? And you did not count the knockdown, you still have to concede that if that knockdown, per boxing rules, this has been a rule in boxing for as long as anybody can fucking remember. If your knee or glove touches that canvas, that is a knockdown, guys. There is no, well, wait a minute, that nigga had grease in his hair and it went in his eye. Yeah. No, we don't bend. When the fucking bend the rules for that? Somebody in the chat said, yeah, Anthony Joshua called a timeout to fix his hand wraps. Yeah, I remember that. But he didn't take a knee. This is the difference. He took a knee. Tank did. It doesn't matter if he's calling a timeout or whatever the fuck it was. That is a knockdown. They still talk about Floyd whenever his glove grazed the canvas against, was it Carlos Hernandez?
That was Zab.
That was Zab Judah, wasn't it?
Zab Judah.
No. Early in his career, not Zab.
You talking about when he hurt his hand? You talking about when he hurt his hand and took the knee? I think that was Carlos Hernandez.
Carlos Hernandez.
Yes.
They called that a knockdown. So how is that a knockdown? But Tank Davis taking a knee is not a knockdown. Floyd obviously had a broken hand. This nigga winced in pain, and his glove just scraped the canvas. Knockdown. Got him. They're waiting on that shit.
Yep.
But when Tank literally puts his knee on the fucking canvas. Oh, wait a minute. 1, 2. Oh, wait, what are you doing over there? Hey, there's a lot of hoes over there, man. I'm looking too. My bad. Oh, shit. Well, wait a minute. Did you take a knee because that bitch was fine? She was fine. I saw her too, bro. Hey, but you can't do that next time. We'll go look at these hoes later, man. All right, fight. What the fuck was that? Boxing has become a clown show.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
This is a clown show, guys.
What's more
no man
is,
no man can look. One more second. No man can look me in my eyes and tell me that should not have been counted a knockdown. Not one motherfucker on this planet can look 2K in his eyes and tell me that shouldn't have been counted as a knockdown. Then
Look,
on top of that, not one man can look Toucan in his eyes and tell me with a straight face that Tank won this fight. Go ahead, y'all. Go ahead, Corey.
go ahead, Corey.
So what I was gonna say is we at a time now like people just think the fuckery is okay. Like, how do you watch?
Good point.
People really arguing to say that that's okay. I saw a comment just now. Somebody said it was a slip. No, he didn't slip. He
Oh my God, bro! I'm sick and tired of this shit, bro.
But hold on, no. Even if you see, and this is why I say niggas don't know boxing. Even if you slip, no motherfuckers ever slipped forward. Nigga has slipped backwards. So how do you slip down to a knee? When you slip, your leg go up, your balance goes, and you go backwards. No niggas ever slip forward. Nigga has always slipped backwards.
This nigga squatted down like onto his knee. It was like
exactly
intentional.
Hey yo. Tank fucking lost a fucking Roach, my nigga. We can't listen, though. Why is nobody making a bigger deal out of it? Roach fucking sucks.
Because these fans these days are simps for the fighter. That's exactly what it is. It's not even about fandom.
Can any Tank fan look me in my face? Can any Tank fan look me in my face and tell me and break down the improvement Lamont Roach has made since he lost to fucking Jamel Herring? Can they show me the improvements?
No.
They can't. You know they can't, bro.
Lamont Roach fought the same fight that he fought against Hector Luis Garcia, Jamel Herring, and all those other guys. He did not. That's why we all have a chat, right? And these guys will tell you in the first round, I said, what the fuck is Lamont Roach doing?
Sure.
Why are you standing there waiting on Tank to come at you? Why would you do that? And then after the second round, I said, fuck it, I'm done. Y'all tell me who won the fight.
Sure did.
I was getting ready to watch a movie with my wife, nigga. I was getting ready to click off boxing and go watch a fucking movie with my wife. Who does that as a boxing fan? We're not supposed to be doing that. The wife watches boxing with you.
No shit.
I'm getting ready to go watch what the wife want to watch because boxing ain't doing what it's supposed to be doing. But my wife was tired, so I kept watching the fight, right? Then that's when Lamont Roach changed his strategy to what he should have been doing in the first round. He started to be first. Listen, I think Lamont Roach started this fight scared, bro. He didn't want to get hit. So he's like, fuck it, I'm just going to wait on Tank and counter him. Well, when he realized Tank wasn't doing shit, all he could do was bring the fight to Tank. Right?
Yep.
But if you bring the fight to Tank behind the jab and keep your distance, bro, you're fine.
Yeah.
That's it. And that's mainly what Roach did until he realized Tank couldn't really hurt him. So that's when he started getting into the into his wheelhouse.
That's when he
started the tool bag.
That was the other thing I was gonna say. He fought Tank, and a lot of people, I think one of the announcers actually said it. Is they said he was fighting him kind of disrespectfully because something I noticed he was doing is he got so used to timing the overhand left that if Tank slipped the first punch, instead of like going forward to tie up, he would go forward and not even really move his head, but maybe a little bit off center, and he would just keep throwing. And Tank never made an adjustment to this. Like he literally was doing naked slips like old school Bernard Hopkins. Like I ain't like really slipping naked, which most coaches would tell you don't ever slip naked against Tank. But he was naked slipping against Tank and never paid for it.
Quick question. Was Tank successful at any range tonight?
No.
Nah, man.
He was getting tagged on.
I can't even.
When he started to get successful, he would get tagged. That was literally the story of the fight, bro. Right? Tank Davis would try to assert himself, but Lamont Roach would beat him at his own game, bro. That is the story of the fight.
Yeah, Roach was seizing the momentum. Every time Tank got into his groove, he would seize the momentum back.
And the part is his punches were the more telling. Like he literally was knocking Tank off of him.
Yep.
He bullied Tank. He bullied Tank because Tank spent every time he got dirty and bullied him and went on the inside and would push him down. Tank reaction was complain to Steve Willis. Dog. He felt completely bullied and took Tank out the game too because he was bullying him. Tank didn't appreciate the fight and the rough shit. You can tell Tank couldn't deal with the rough shit. He spent the entire fight complaining to Steve Willis.
I'm gonna say something that a lot of Tank fans are gonna be upset about, but it's just something I've thought for a while. I really think Tank is Andre Berto 2.0 with even softer matchmaking.
Hey, yo, Andre Berto Haitian, my nigga. Don't do that. Andre Berto Haitian, nigga. Big Zo, nigga. We ain't doing that. Big Zo.
So you saying a fighter like Juan Urango would have beat Tank?
Based on what we saw tonight, when you look at the weaknesses of Tank and the strengths of a Juan Urango, even if they were fighting at 135, what would you get?
Yeah. I mean,
good point.
I think Tank, I've said this years ago, and I'll stand by it. I won't go far down as Andre Berto. I think Tank is Adrian.
What do you mean go far down as Andre Berto? What do you mean, nigga?
Far down, bro. Listen, I liked Andre Berto until January 2009. What fight was that? What fight was that, guys? Let's test y'all boxing knowledge. Who was it?
Victor Ortiz.
Collazo.
January
2009. Yep. Louis Collazo beat that ass.
Man, Berto won that shit 115, 113 in my scorecard. He took it out.
No, sir. Collazo won that fight walking away.
Anti-Haitian ass motherfuckers.
What you saying, Corey?
I was saying but as far as if you had to fight a guy that was like Juan Urango, you would get a similar result because one thing that everybody's going to have picked up on is if you pick up the tempo against Tank and get physical with him, it's going to be a problem for him because he fights kind of like a sprinter. He'll have a burst, throw a few punches, and then he kind of rests. He'll have a burst, then rest. Burst, then rest. So if you constantly just keep making him go hard, and this is what I think was something that a whole bunch of people are also going to take from the fight is just make them have to maintain a tempo, and it's going to be a problem for them.
Well, another big problem that we saw, which is what Lamont Roach picked up on, is now we know Tank is not the type of fighter that can be effective if you make this nigga move his feet. You saw that as long as he had Tank moving, because think about the times that Roach was effective. He actually had Tank on the back foot. Tank couldn't even counter him because every time he tried, he was getting countered himself. Like when you really look at what Lamont Roach was doing, Lamont Roach did two simple counter moves. Counter to miss the left, hit him with the right. Counter with the right, hit him with a hook. Them were the only two counter moves this nigga did the whole fight.
And yeah, that's the point that I was making earlier. Like everything that Tank did, Roach had an answer for, and then would actually start to beat him. You see what I'm saying? At that same game. Like if Tank was trying to control mid-range and he would catch Lamont Roach would come back with his own shit, catch Tank, and then start walking him down afterwards. Every single time. If Tank wanted to do something in the inside, what would Lamont Roach do? Go to the body.
Go to the body.
And then start walking him down again or even tie him up. I think Tank tied up more than Lamont Roach did, though, to be honest with you.
He did.
Yeah, he did.
And I really believe Lamont Roach was hurting this dude. And this is the funny part, guys. Lamont Roach is a 130-pounder. Yes, Tank Davis started at 130, but he's been campaigning above 130 for several years now, guys. He's the bigger guy. He went up to 140. You know what I'm saying? Lamont Roach has been chilling at 130, bro. Literally, I'm not looking at it, but I think Lamont Roach has been chilling at 130 his entire career.
I'm about to say, I don't remember him being and if he has creeped out of 130, you talking what, 131?
He might have gone inside the 135 range by a couple of pounds, right? I don't think Lamont Roach has a registered fight at like 140. I don't think so. Right? So Tank is the bigger boy, man. And Lamont Roach, the smaller fighter, is hurting this guy.
Multiple times.
And he fought him like he was the puncher. That's the other, like,
Sure did.
He sure
if you're
did.
really a hardcore Tank fan and you're being honest with yourself, if there was something that bothers you about this fight more than anything else, even if you're gonna lie to yourself about the scorecards, you can't lie to yourself about this dude really went in the ring and fought Tank like he was the puncher. Like, that's a problem if that's what you are.
Exactly.
Or supposed to be.
So, all right, let's segue real quick because we're gonna wrap it up in a little bit. So, all these different talks
Oh no.
about Tank Davis and Shakur Stevenson, man. Give me y'all's take, man. Fuck it. I Tank Davis, Shakur Stevenson, Tank Davis, Devin Haney, Tank Davis, Teofimo Lopez. What do you guys think, man?
Tio outboxes Tank 9-3. And considering how Tank took them punches from Roach, it might not make it to 12. Tio might stop him. Keyshawn Davis does everything better than Lamont Roach at a way high level, and he hits harder. He stops him with the combination. He stops him. Shakur,
that's the fight. Hold on. That's the fight right there that I've been telling niggas need to happen, to be honest with you. Because, again, just like I was telling Cass back in 2009 when they were all asking for Floyd Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao, I was always that one motherfucker in the minority saying, I'm not interested in that fight because Floyd will beat this nigga's ass, man.
give me Tim Bradley.
I feel that, yeah, because I wanted to see Floyd and Tim Bradley at that time because Tim Bradley was running through everybody at that time, right? Now, Tank is kind of the same way. Tank and Shakur. I'm not saying I'm not interested in that fight, but I've always maintained Shakur beats Tank, bro.
Yes.
I think Devin Haney beats Tank. Devin Haney that beat Lomachenko beats Tank, bro.
Let me finish my soliloquy.
Go ahead.
Keyshawn Davis beat the fuck out of Tank. If Tank fought Andy Cruz, the fight would end in round 7 with Tank throwing up because Andy Cruz done spun him around so much. You feel me? And Tank can't handle that shit. Tank doesn't beat Lomachenko's old ass. Lomachenko probably stops Tank.
Hold on, Zoe. Hold on, nigga. Because your ass, we would argue this. Now, 2K has always said Loma beats Tank from 130 all the way up. Nigga, didn't matter. But you did at one point say that
Loma's
Tank
age caught up to him.
Loma.
That Loma's age caught up to him.
Right.
But now, seeing I know Loma can crack and Loma does everything better, Loma probably stops him if you fucking getting stumbled by fucking whatchamacallit. But the most embarrassing fight is if you put him in there with Shakur. He really gets him fucking embarrassed.
Hold on. I want you to go back to Loma. I don't like how you address that. I need you to say, 2K, you were right. Please.
2K.
I need you to say that, bro.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury.
2K. Loma's not old yet. Loma's not. No, fuck that. Fuck that. Even if Loma is 50 years old, he beats this version. He beats Tank.
Man, Loma beats Tank. How old is Loma right now? 34?
Yeah.
37.
37?
Can I get real nasty, nigga? Gary Russell beats Tank, and I ain't talking about the one who won the title today.
You talking
Gary
about
Russell don't beat
Gary
Tank.
Russell?
I ain't talking about the one who won the title today. I ain't talking about that one. I'm talking about the nigga who been retired for 3 years.
I know you're talking about.
Yeah, nigga.
He can't beat Tank, man.
He beating Tank, dog.
He's too inactive, man. Mark Magsayo and shit. I'm good. Nah, man. Too inactive. But,
man, like
that. He didn't get that damn much rust off in no one fight to fight Tank.
now we know why. Now we know why Tank didn't want to fight Tevin Farmer back in the day.
He would have beat the shit out of Tevin Farmer. Nah,
man, I don't even know.
Are y'all nigga, Tevin Farmer, the nigga that went on the goddamn UK rampage, nigga, and lost the fucking Diaz. Tank beats that nigga's ass, bro. Like, this nigga Tevin Farmer, he fucking struggled with Jono Carroll. What are y'all talking about? Jono Carroll.
Tank struggled with Rolly Romero. It don't get no worse than that.
No, it does get worse than that. Jono Carroll does not beat Rolly Romero.
He got a point.
It does get worse than that. Nigga, Guillaume Frenois does not beat Rolly Romero, nigga. Y'all niggas must have forgot like Roy Jones. Tevin Farmer's trash. Nigga. Tank Davis. Now I ain't gonna fuck with Tank. Listen, hold on. Y'all know I don't fuck with Tank, but I will not do that to the point and say Tevin Farmer beats this nigga. Stop. Gillamaine for noise. Motherfucking Jono Carroll. What was that other nigga, Bo, that white dude with all that power that Tevin Farmer barely beat? Can't remember his name. Why? Because he's fucking irrelevant. Don't say it, Bo, don't fucking matter. He's irrelevant.
White dude with the mohawk that be throwing them wild ass hooks.
It don't matter. He's fucking irrelevant. My point is, Tevin Farmer was struggling with these niggas. And you telling me he beats Tank?
I think the people Tank can beat right now. I think the people Tank can beat at 140, at 135 is niggas like Floyd Schofield, niggas like Abdullah Mason right now, and fucking Chris Colbert might be his next opponent. Somebody like that he can beat. You feel me? The upper echelon, Williams Zepeda he could beat. The Shakors, the Keyshawn, the Andy Cruz, the Lomachenko. If you want to take this shit to 140, bro, he can't beat Devin. He can't beat Tio.
Listen,
but they got this nigga as a top 5 pound for pound.
If you would have said Tank can't beat JoJo Diaz, that would have been more acceptable. And I still don't believe that. He beats JoJo Diaz too.
Yeah, of course.
JoJo Diaz whooped Tank's ass. I mean, Tevin's ass, bro.
Yeah, whooping, man. My man's eyes was fucking up. He was blinking crazy.
Nigga, the features, dog. You don't get the
eyes was blinking. Say that nigga was looking left and right.
I'm sorry that the Tevin Farmer fight was a missed opportunity. They were supposed to get that fight done.
It was. I agree. I agree.
James Tennyson, there you go, Heisenberg. That's my nigga, man. Heisenberg always comes through. Yeah, man. Billy dead.
Okay,
man, get the fuck out of here, man.
Francisco Fonseca.
Do y'all think Tank? We never see Tank again?
Yes.
No, we're gonna see him because the problem is, as we're finding out right now, the problem is this nigga's fan base is gonna support him regardless of what he do. Like he's starting to enter that Canelo zone with his fan base, right? Where these niggas are beyond delusional.
Ooh, yeah, you're right about that.
You know? Yeah, because think about it. This nigga actually said,
but he got booed today.
And everybody was like, yeah, they was happy to see this nigga running back with it.
But he got booed today. You remember he got booed when they asked him why did he take the knee?
About that grease or whatever that.
Yeah, and usually that I feel like that. I never would expect them to. I thought they would have ate that shit up because they big eaters.
Well, what you got to understand though, Zoe, is that people will come to reality eventually. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They all saw what we saw in the ring. Now you still got some fag niggas on Facebook and on social media that just jerked this nigga's nutsack so hard, bro, that they're in denial right now. You're gonna have those folks jumping out of nowhere, like the nigga on there that keep just saying draw. Like this nigga's in complete. This nigga's probably got a knife to his motherfucking wrist right now.
Yeah, he's a Fag Master 7000 or the new series.
That nigga's a Fag Master V1000 nigga.
Yeah,
V1000 nigga, the RoboCop hybrid nigga.
Fucking homo fag.
Fucking RoboCop hybrid Fag Master, bro. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just saying, bro. Like you gonna have them dudes, but majority of people, they see what they see and they're going to understand reality eventually. And that's what happened when he's talking about greasing his hair and shit. People are like, man, get that shit out of here, bro. That's why I wasn't surprised when they booed him. I was expecting that.
But do y'all understand what we saw? I mean, just think about this. We've had in the history of boxing, of men and women, especially women fighters, we had a dude blame a hairdo malfunction for him taking a fucking knee.
Oh,
well, we did have a dude that has the same attributes as Tank, claim his costume fucked off his fight.
But that's fine. The costume. I never expect to hear a dude. That's like you calling in to work. I can't come in. Why? I broke a nail.
That nigga said I got hit. Man, I remember a time where they used to fucking put shit in people's eyes and Muhammad Ali still figure out a way to beat Sonny Liston. Nigga, you taking knees for Lamont Roach, nigga?
But show me where if Tank says some guy in this eye, which is what he said, why is it the very picture that starts this video, I see nothing wrong with this nigga eyes? No, I don't see no redness in that boy eyes.
Man, he got punched in the face. I think he got punched in the face and did what Danny Garcia did against you guys. That's what I think happened. I mean, against Lara.
All
To
I
go
know
back to
is
the
the nigga admitted that Lamont Roach knocked the soul glow out that nigga braids, bro. That's what happened. Just let
really
your soul glow. That's what happened. Nigga had to take a
about
knee.
this fight,
Yeah.
bad about this fight, and it's kind of something similar to what we got to see with Evan. Fighters are known, or what makes you a fighter is your ability to fight through adversity. And we're seeing all these dudes that's supposed to be like generational talents not
Good point.
fighting through adversity.
Good
Like,
point.
like during this fight week, Tank claimed that he had more skills and ability than Floyd and could do the same things in his career, if not exceed them. We've seen Floyd in three different fights fight through like injuries that required surgery to get stoppages. You, on the other hand, forced a timeout and fought worse. We saw Devin Haney take knockdowns and completely melt down in the ring, and then really melted down after the fight instead of being, I'm gonna go get this shit back in blood. Once he got his O back, it should be like, yeah, I still got to make the shit right. That you would think that would be the attitude.
Right.
No, we don't see that. We're really seeing like the only one that's kind of showing me that he'll fight through adversity is we've seen Shakur. Now in his last 3 fights, has injured his hand majorly in some kind of way, and he actually figured out ways to win the fights. Wasn't pretty, but he got the shit done. But the other ones is looking, when they facing adversity, this shit is looking whack. Like it's really, and it's fucking with how we perceive the sport. Because half of us know better, and the other half are like, well, he did get hurt, or well, he slipped. Like that's why we getting this weirdo shit.
Yeah, I mean, it's just what the young kids say today, blood. It's glazing. You know what I'm saying? They
Yeah.
glazing. It's these fans that glaze these fighters, bro. And it's a reality check when you come across cats like us because we don't glaze any fighter. We're not a fan of any fighter. We love the sport. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And to be honest with you, I'm glad something like this happened because Tank Davis, had he not gotten this exposure, right, probably would have continued to ride. He would have fought guys that we all think he could beat on paper easily, knocked them out because they're intimidated by his power, right, and rode off into the sunset undefeated, unblemished. And you got these fanboys that would have been talking about him later on and in the years to come saying, yeah, this guy was the shit. And 2K as an old ass man, Bo as a decrepit ass nigga would have had to try to tell these motherfuckers, no, he was not. You know what I'm saying? Because we gonna be the Burt Sugars of tomorrow. That's who all of us are. We're the Burt Sugars of tomorrow. We're gonna be 60 years old trying to convince dumb motherfuckers that Tank Davis wasn't that guy. You see what I'm saying? So I'm glad something like this happened for the sport of boxing because now cherry picking gone wrong is a real thing.
Yeah.
Canelo did it with Dimitri Bivol. Tank just did it with fucking Lamont Roach. It's a real thing. You can really cherry pick your wrong shit, bro. Go ahead, Jay.
Quick. So with this performance by Roach, right? Does this going forward, do other fighters at 135 look at Tank much like the mystique? How Tyson had that mystique about him until Buster Douglas came along. So with Lamont Roach hanging in there, stunning him, basically just beating him to the punch for most of the fight. Do you think that other fighters now are gonna come out of the woodworks and not be afraid of his power going forward?
Let me say this. Yeah, let me get that. So here's the difference. You compared the mystique of Mike Tyson to the false mystique of Tank Davis. These fighters don't see Tank like the fans see him. You see what I'm saying? These fighters be out here like, I want to fight this nigga, but he just don't want to fight me. That's why Frank Martin jumped to the challenge, right? That's why Leo Santa Cruz, a smaller fighter, was calling for that fight. right? That's why Lomachenko was calling this nigga out at 130, right? These guys want to fight him. Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, Teo, they've all mentioned him. Ryan Garcia was calling for that fight. None of these guys are scared of Tank Davis. They're not. Heavyweights were scared of Mike Tyson. You see what I'm saying? So when they saw Buster Douglas tap that ass, yeah, they started coming out the woodworks then, right? What's my guy's name? Razor Ruddock was not talking about Mike Tyson until after Buster Douglas busted that ass and he went to prison. That's when he started talking about Mike Tyson, right? Before that, Razor Ruddock wasn't talking about Mike Tyson. The only motherfucker that was talking about Mike Tyson before Buster Douglas was Evander Holyfield. That's it.
Yeah.
Nobody else wanted smoke, bro. Lennox Lewis wasn't talking about him. Riddick
And
Bowe
Carl
wasn't talking
and
about
Carl
him.
the Truth William.
Yeah, Carl the Truth Williams. Thanks, though. Yeah. None of those bigger name guys were talking about Mike Tyson, right? Then when he got rocked and beat up by Buster Douglas, everybody came out then. Oh, nigga, give me that shit, bro. I'll take him, right? Everybody's been calling for Tank. There hasn't been a situation where Tank needed to get beat up or knocked out or anything like that for guys to come out the woodworks. They've been doing it ever since he beat Jose Pedraza.
Yo, to add to your point, Gary Russell walked up to Leo Santa Cruz's dad and disrespected him to get the fight. Leo never fought him, but he was willing to fight Tank. Mario Barrios told Regis Prograis he could not make 140. He was going to 147, but found a way to make 140 to fight Tank. Loma gave up his fucking WBC title to not fight a 20-year-old Devin Haney, but he been calling Tank out since Tank became champion. Nobody is scared of that nigga.
No, I'm not saying in the sense of being scared of him like that. I'm talking about his power, that mystique of his power, not the one to fight him.
But see, I don't
I'm saying
even
going
that, because
forward,
listen to what Ryan Garcia saying. Listen to what Rolly say about his power. Listen to what Rolly and Ryan. I don't think there's a mystique about his power too. Because listen to what Rolly and Ryan be saying about that shit. Even some of the people who fight him, the niggas who fight him don't really, except for Frank Martin, niggas don't run from him. So I don't even think that's a mystique too of his power. I don't think niggas believe that shit either, because look how they fight him.
So are you saying, Jay, so let's say the fight is already made. Are you saying now that when those guys get in the ring with him, they're not going to be
more
tentative?
Exactly.
I hear you. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah,
much like how you said, like Roach was timid for the first few rounds. So going forward, being more seeing that you can get comfortable and what to do going forward. Fighters go ahead? Yeah.
So to Zoe's point, fighters they weren't timid before Roach. Roach was the timid one. Rolly wasn't timid. Ryan Garcia wasn't timid. Leo Santa Cruz wasn't timid. Yuriorkis Gamboa wasn't timid.
Hector Garcia stood in front of him all fucking night.
Yeah, these guys were never timid. Yeah. The only guy that was timid was Roach, and that's why I was like, what the fuck is he doing? Because the game plan was already there. You just need to be more cognizant of the counterpunching. That's it. That's all really Tank is, bro. Like, he's got decent footwork when he wants to use it, but he doesn't use it all the time because he's got to sit down on his shots. You see what I'm saying? Tank can actually box. I disagree with the notion that Tank is one-dimensional. He's not one-dimensional in terms of the type of skills that he has in his arsenal. But he makes himself one-dimensional because he relies too much on his power, right? When you have to sit down on your punches because you're just looking for the knockout, well, then that takes away the footwork, right? That takes away the combination punching, or at least the setup shots, right? The baiting shots, right? You're just trying to land that one shot, that one combination, right? When he started doing that against Lamont Roach, he actually looked good. It's just that Lamont Roach was still better at him at that. Go ahead, Corey.
Yeah, to your point, Tank's best fight as a pro was Pedraza. And the thing that he showed is he actually gradually broke him down. Like, because he couldn't just one-shot him, so he understood, like, all right, I got to touch him.
Right.
After that, he's never really fought a fighter where he said, I have to consistently touch him. He had spots of doing that with Cruz just because he was injured, but where he actually just said, you know what, I'm going to let the knockout develop itself. He's pretty much been able to figure out something that a person does repeatedly. And he does have one thing. He can kind of take a snapshot in his head of what you did And if you start repeating it, he is going to make you pay for that shit.
Right.
But if you vary your attacks and you make him have to think fast, he's been fighting such a level of opponents that he's not really going into the bag that he potentially should have. And at 30 years old, I don't know if you're going to fix his bag now because he's been able to get away with looking for that little snapshot. Like, he's been wildly successful with it. He don't even care about winning the rounds. He thinks about that shit. So that's why that
Exactly.
Roach shit. That's why that Roach fight, when it got to round 7, did you notice like he was really frantic and fighting hella?
Yup.
Yeah.
Yep. Actually, when he got up from that knee as well, this motherfucker went on the attack. That's actually why I thought Tank won that round. He actually beat Lamont Roach in that round. I scored it a 9-9. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you're right. He started. He had a sense of urgency towards the second half of the fight because he's like, all right, I gotta get this nigga out of here like I've been doing everybody else. He had the same sense of urgency against Rolly and against Leo Santa Cruz, right? He was trying to time that uppercut all night with Leo Santa Cruz. Leo just a dumbass, just walked right into it.
Sure
But he was
did.
trying to time it the whole goddamn night.
And Raleigh was spamming the combination like he was playing Fight Night.
Same one, right? Button mashing. Same two. Yeah. Same 2 button combination. You know what I'm saying? And got countered for it, right? But Lamont Roach did basic boxing tonight, guys.
He
He
did.
did basic boxing.
And kind of was styling. He got so confident on this nigga.
Well, once you accept mentally a dude can't hurt me, or once you say to yourself, hey man, regardless of what he hits me with, right? Because it even started reaching a point where Tank wasn't even trying to throw hard, he was trying to touch him only because of the fact that Roach was coming back with shots. And once Roach calculated that, was like, hey, he ain't really trying to blow like that because if he miss, he know he has a counter coming. He's just trying to hit to get back in defense mode. And that's when he started letting go. So once you say that in your head, it's always going to be a different fight.
Yep. So go ahead, Corey.
Yeah, the problem now is that fight, that film is out there now. Like, the film that everybody suspected that Tank really was, it's out there now. And now you're in a division, ain't nothing but sharks in it, and you sit at the top of it still. It's going to be hard to say why you don't want to fight those sharks, and it's going to be really hard to fight those sharks because they're going to come in the ring confident, understanding like what they looked at and how they did it.
Yeah.
Right.
Let me ask you guys a question, man. Are you guys interested in the rematch? Did both of those guys agree to it at the end of the fight? Are you interested in a rematch?
I don't really care.
Yeah.
Only because I know he won't. He's not going to fight anybody else.
Okay.
So, I mean, it was a good matchup, but yeah.
I'm gonna say something. Go ahead.
I'm mentioning the rematch because for the first time, this is a fight that I'm looking at, and I don't think we're going to see the better of either one. That was the best Lamont Roach we saw. I don't think we're going to see a better Tank Davis.
Yep.
So I'm curious to see if this time around, how like, first of all, you can't have that referee, but I'm curious to see how this time around, how Tank's approach is going to be, because now you know you got a guy that you can't hurt and that can hurt you. Now your approach to this fight has to be different.
Let me throw a wrench in here. I'm with the chat. A couple people in the chat said they're not interested in a rematch. I'm not interested. You want to know why? Because it was a cherry pick gone wrong. Why would I want to see a rematch? So that he can basically get another chance to show you guys, this is why I picked him in the first place. No, fuck that. You cherry pick gone wrong. You lost. If I'm Lamont Roach, I'm like, hey, I win. Going back to 130. Thanks, guys.
The worst thing that could happen to Tank if Turkey drop a bag to make Lamont Roach fight Shakur. That's the worst thing that happened to Tank, because when people see what happens in that fight, that'll really fuck up Tank's stock even more.
Because Shakur would beat the dog shit out of fucking Lamont Roach, bro. 120, 108 if he don't stop him.
You know what? And that actually needs to happen. Like, Turkey should actually be like, hey, no, fuck Tank. Come over here. Fight Shakur.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
agree.
unless the rematch clause is like ironclad that if it's either a draw or a loss for Tank, that would be lovely to see happen. I don't think we're gonna get that, but that's what would be the best because truth is why I don't want to see the rematch of this cherry pick is we saw the very best of Lamont Roach, and now he's gonna have gotten his bag and gonna get a bigger bag the second time around. Are we really gonna get a hungry Lamont Roach to begin with and for a fight too? Like
Yeah.
how he
That's a
was
good point. Yeah,
That's a good point.
that's a good
Yeah.
point.
I mean, that bag changes everybody, right?
It does.
Or
Yep.
changes a lot of people. I don't want to say everybody. It changes a lot of people, and he could be, susceptible to that. But I just don't want Lamont Roach to give him an opportunity to beat him. Fuck that. Because
Mhm.
you were supposed to lose this fight, and you defied all odds, and you truly won this fight. So
That's a good point.
take your win. It's in the form of a draw, but everybody saw everybody in his home motherfucking area, not his home
That'd be the smart
hometown,
thing.
but his home area.
Oh shit, that's right. The
So,
DC Baltimore
yeah,
rivalry is
home area. That's what I'm saying. Area, right? They all saw. They know what happened, right? You won, Lamont.
That's a good
Let's
point.
go. Move on. Bigger and better things now. Fuck Tank Davis. You
You
beat
literally
that guy.
could call yourself the king of the DMV. Like you should change your name to that.
Yep.
Mhm.
Now that's a good point because if Tank winds up knocking out Lamont, that he's going to be absolved of what we saw in the first fight.
Yeah.
And guess what? Lamont Roach is on a high right now. He just did something nobody expected him to do. Only a minute few that have Lamont Roach posters in their bedroom somewhere. That's it. And family members. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Though only those minute people knew that this would happen, right? So his stock is way the fuck up there right now. If he fights Tank and loses, it goes right back down.
Back down.
You're on a high, you take advantage of the high, and you get bigger fights, right? Now, we all know if he tries to fight Shakur or Keyshawn Davis, that's ass, belt to ass, bro. You know what I'm saying? And not one of them, bullshit belts. I'm talking real leather, nigga. Real leather belt. You know what I'm saying? Leave welts on your motherfucking ass, bro. It's that.
Right.
Right? But the point is, he went on to bigger and better. He's unlocked opportunities, right? To make his resume look better than what it was. Because before Tank, it was shit.
That's
Like I
very
said,
true.
Rene Alvarado was his best win, guys.
Who is even Lamont Roach's promoter? Because if he's not signed with
It's
nobody,
I thought it was Golden Boy.
No, he's not with Golden Boy
Boy
no more.
Nah, before yesterday during the weigh-in, I could have sworn I heard them say Pro Box Promotion. I even know Pro Box fucking
Yeah,
promoted it.
it is. Gary Jonas.
Bro. Pro
Gary
box.
Jonas.
yeah. Oh yeah,
Damn.
Right.
He easily
His
fight
father,
on a
Lamont Roach
on a
Sr. and
Riyadh
them
card.
has partnered up with Gary Jonas.
See, that's crazy shit, dog.
Yeah, so
No, Tank lost to somebody who headlined a YouTube event, my nigga. God damn.
He just fought on Pro Box TV prior to this fight.
Sure
That's what I
did.
said, a
didn't even-
YouTube event. That's what I said.
yeah, so
Hey,
my
but
point
right,
is
a
it'd be
YouTube
very easy to-
event, and it was a title. Like, understand, there's another thing I want people to understand. Lamont Roach is the WBA regular champion. He's not the super champion at 130. Now, for all those that don't know, WBA has all these stupid ass fucking tiers of their titles, right?
Yeah.
Other organizations do too, but nothing like the WBA. It's out of control. The WBA super champion is the real champion of the WBA. The regular champion is almost like a fucking interim champion. The regular champion has to adhere to mandatories, whereas the super champion does not. The super champion can go off and unify titles to become undisputed, whereas regular champion can't do that. That's why you see in matchups where there could be a unification, a lot of times they promote the regular champion to super champion if that title's vacant so that unifications can happen, right? So with that said, Lamont Roach is a second-tier WBA champion at 130. Nah, he didn't get elevated. He was getting ready to – he fought Tank for the super championship. Tank got elevated. He fought him for the super title at 135. But at 130, he's the fucking regular champion, guys. He's a second-tier champion at 130. So now that this has happened, he might get that elevation because I don't think there is a super champion at 130.
No, there
I don't
isn't.
think they have one.
Mm-mm.
So he might get elevated. Now he might be able to unify titles, right?
That's
Manuel
true.
Navarrete is still champion down there at WBO, I believe, right? You got fucking Oshaki Foster, right? You got Anthony Kakase. This is one of the worst divisions in boxing. 130 might be the worst division in boxing, but Lamont Roach is king right now. Why? Because he moved up to 135 and beat Tank Davis. Now he's king at 130. That's exactly how this transitions. So he might get promoted to WBA Super. Then he can go, like I said, unify against Anthony Kakase, IBF, WBO, Emmanuel Navarrete, WBC, Oshaki Foster, right?
Yep.
And possibly become undisputed. Will he? No, because he can't beat probably Oshaki Foster, in my opinion. Probably loses that fight, right? But the point is the opportunities are there.
Yeah.
That's my point. So fuck Tank Davis. Take these opportunities now, bro.
That's a good point, though. No, you're right. No, you actually, because the sad part is, because we talking about him being on Pro Bowl, which is funny, but he could fight Oshaki Foster's Matchroom. Well, that's a bigger payday. Emmanuel Navarrete is top rank. Well, that's going to be a solid payday.
Yep.
So no, you're absolutely right.
Good shit, LW. You're right about that. He did fucking vacate the fight Laywood. I forgot about that shit. So that belt open. He can go get that fight. I don't know. Hector Luis Garcia again. 130 is trash, bro.
I think because Shakur already posted on his Twitter that he's open to fighting Lamont Roach. So I think
of course he is, because Lamont Roach is trash, and his I'm sorry, Lamont Roach, dog. I'm not knocking you, bro, but you're not that good of a fighter, my nigga. Tank is just not that good of a fighter himself. That's how you got to where you at today. Good job tonight. Excellent job executing or changing the game plan from what you were doing at the beginning of the fight to what you ended up doing in the second half of the fight. Excellent job of that. But you're not that good of a fighter, bro. If you try to step to a guy like Shakur Stevenson or Keyshawn Davis, that's belt to ass, my nigga. That's switch to ass. Fuck belt, nigga. That's extension cord to ass, nigga. Extension cord to ass.
The core might be get caught a coon the way he's gonna put the belt to you, dog.
Bro, hey Zo, Shakur gonna wait for that nigga to get out the tub, nigga, while he still got water on his ass.
This nigga, man, he's going old school with the PlayStation wires, nigga.
Right, he gonna whoop that nigga with an HDMI cord. Man.
Exactly right, HDMI cord, right? No disrespect to Roach, man, but come on, guys. Come on, man. Like, even the game plan that he had against Tank, how does that work against Shakur? Somebody tell me that.
It don't.
It don't, bro.
It doesn't.
Shakur stays on the outside, turns this nigga all around the ring. Jab in the face, setting up the 1-2 all night long, bro.
This nigga let Jamel Herring keep him behind the jab and went to work on him all night. Jamel Herring literally won the first 8-9 rounds.
Fuck that. This nigga actually made Jamel Herring's win legit.
Like I said at the beginning when we first started talking, Jamel Herring said, now y'all stop giving me shit about Lamont Roach being on my resume. Like, keep that in mind how crazy, like, him saying that after seeing that be a Tank fight.
Right. Yeah.
That's crazy.
The only thing about, answer this question or talk about this comment from L Dub. He said he might have to fight as mandatory next. The only thing about the WBA, they do, like I was saying earlier, the regular champion has to adhere to those mandatories. But I really believe L Dub that he might get elevated, bro. If he gets elevated, then they're gonna let Albert fight for that vacant regular title. I really believe that happens now because the WBA is gonna try to cash in on Lamont Roach making money. And trying to get unifications. I think that happens. That would be the worst thing that they do is make him fight that cat in Russia and possibly lose. They can't cash in on his star power right now. He's got a little bit.
Imagine if he did lose to the Russian nigga.
Can't have that many happy white people. No.
Okay. Quick question. Did Lamont Roach definitively beat Hector Garcia?
No.
Yeah. So here's the deal.
No.
He won by split decision, right?
Yeah.
But the reason why I had Lamont Roach winning is because Hector Luis Garcia stopped fighting. Remember that? He's in that fight towards the latter rounds. He stopped fucking fighting. So Lamont Roach was picking up rounds, bro.
He did the same thing
That's
against
how he
Tank.
won.
He did the same
Yeah.
thing against Tank. He got hit and claimed he was blind and stopped fighting.
Yeah, exactly.
Didn't he get knocked down? Didn't the Monroe score a knockdown like in 11?
Yeah, he scored a knockdown against Hector Garcia, something Tank couldn't do.
Yep. The dude's he's so stupid, man. he stopped fighting 100%. That's exactly what happened with him, man. And if Hector Garcia would have kept fighting, he probably would have beat Lamont Roach. And Lamont Roach wouldn't even be here right now. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean, that's a good question. He didn't definitively beat Lamont Roach. He did not.
Just to show you how bad Tank is, Tank brought two different niggas up from 130. Both of these niggas only got the title because the original person that they had planned to go fight Tank lost. The original nigga that was supposed to go up to 130 was Chris fucking Colbert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris Colbert. Hector Garcia was the second plan, and then Lamont Roach was the backup to the backup. You're fucking ass, nigga.
So, all right, a couple more questions, man. What do y'all think Tank goes from here, man? If he can't get the rematch, what does he do? Does he retire?
He shouldn't retire. He should take my offer. I'm willing to fight Tank in Baltimore for $500,000.
Hey, we're gonna train Zoe. Hey, Bo, we need to get get the training material out, bro. We're gonna train this nigga for this shit, bro. Zoe ready. I mean, Zoe, man, we can't do nothing about the heart condition, my nigga. You just gotta fight that shit, bro.
If the heart condition a problem, give me fucking Calvin, nigga. Give me that old ass Calvin.
You know what I think this nigga might do?
Oh man,
this nigga might look to fight the winner Williams Zepeda and Tevin Farmer.
Bro.
Or he might find a number one ranked contender in the WBA, Floyd Schofield.
Yeah, but that level of creativeness does sound like some shit that sounds like some shit the PBC would organize.
Yeah.
Listen.
So somebody said
Gary
Tevin
Russell.
Farmer's. Somebody said Tevin Farmer's name again, bro. Y'all still talking about that same bald-headed, cockeyed nigga that lost to Kenichi Ogawa, and they overturned the fight. Y'all talking about that Tevin Farmer? God damn, man. I don't want to see that fight. I hope they don't make it. Williams Zepeda, please win, please.
Right. Win convincingly this time, because a lot of people felt like he lost that.
Right. Damn, now that you say it, I'm gonna piss you off even more. Because there's already a backstory to Farmer and Tank. If
don't say it, don't.
Yeah, I was thinking that same thing.
Corey,
I was thinking that same thing.
I'm about to hit the eject button.
How about this?
Hey, this is
Gary Russell came in at 138 tonight. Gary Russell came into the fight at 138. I think is there a chance he's doing that for a reason? Because he's considering that if he won a title, he might have catch weight Tank at 136. They might get creative and do that.
Bro.
Because he came in at 138.
Gary Russell needs to take 10 fights before I consider him fighting anybody with a name.
Yeah.
This nigga's been so inactive. Let me tell you something, my nigga. Gary Russell, I got dough now, right? Gary Russell was inactive back when I was broke, nigga. And that was a long-ass time ago. That's how long Gary Russell been fucking
I'm talking about
inactive.
the one who just won the title. I'm talking about the one at 140.
Oh, Gary Antoine. Oh,
no, because he showed up at 138 tonight. He weighed in at 138. And I'm thinking the reason he came in at 138 because in the back of his mind, he's thinking he could do a 136 catch weight with Tank if he would have won.
Man, I don't know.
That catch weight shit is Tank like that catch weight shit.
Why would Tank fight Gary Antoine Russell after what he just did to Rayo tonight, bro?
Because he can catch weight that nigga and dehydrate that nigga. That's why.
Nah.
I don't think Gary Russell Jr. allows that to happen.
I'm about to say his brother ain't gonna let him do that shit.
Yeah. Gary Russell Jr. is like his manager, trainer, and everything support to this nigga. He's not gonna allow so much so I forgot they had another Gary Russell at like 118 or 120, 122 or whatever. That they
anyway, not right. The one I got knocked out by Elvis Rodriguez, one of them niggas, right?
Yeah, they never talk about him. It's just Antoine now. But Gary Russell Jr. He's latched on to Antoine like, hey, this guy might take us. He might do some of the same things I did or do better than me. I don't think he allows him to get drained by Tank. He don't allow that fight.
Man, okay, real shit before I leave, because my phone about to die. Tank next opponent is gonna be Chris Colbert, nigga.
It better
That's
not
very
be.
much in line with who Tank is. That's very much in line with who Tank is.
Chris Colbert, like there's no upside to make that fight.
Put it in Brooklyn. It's gonna sell because Chris Colbert from Brooklyn. He's gonna talk enough shit.
And no.
All right, man. Last question, man. It's Tank Davis. Tank Davis, man. We got ridiculed on Facebook by a lot of Tank sycophants and dick pullers, man. Is Tank Davis a top 10 pound for pound fighter?
No.
Oh hell no.
No.
He never
Hell
was.
I'm sure about that
motherfucking no.
because I did not have Tank in the Three Kings boxing top 10, and motherfuckers is all over that post. What Tank? What Tank not on there? What Tank ain't on there? Tank need to be on there. Tank this, Tank that. Y'all sure? Y'all
I'm
sure he's not top
positive.
10?
No, 1000% positive.
Tank not even top 15 if we're keeping it real.
Get some elaboration. Who gets kicked off to put him on?
Exactly.
Exactly, bro. So I had Devin Haney at number 10. They're saying Devin Haney should be off. The reason why I have Devin Haney on there, right, is because he's a former undisputed champion that never lost that status in the ring, right? He's a 2-division champion, right? He never actually lost the WBC title, and the fucking loss to Ryan Garcia was overturned.
Exactly.
He's still undefeated. Yes, he looked like shit against Ryan Garcia, but you don't go off of that. You go off of what actually is happening, and what actually has happened is Ryan Garcia was seen as a cheater, and they overturned the fucking decision. So now Devin Haney is undefeated again. Now, I did penalize him a little bit because before that, I had Devin Haney. Before he fought Ryan Garcia, I had that nigga at, I think, number 7, right? And then when he lost to Ryan Garcia, I completely took the nigga off the list. Nigga, I took him off the back list, nigga. The list you don't see. He was off that motherfucker, right? So, but when everything happened, he got overturned. He's no longer got a loss. You got to consider who he beat. You got to consider his accolades. I got to put him back on there at number 10 at least. The only people that can beat him out of that spot right now would be David Benavidez, right? Teofimo Lopez, who was above him before I had put Teofimo Lopez at number 10 before he got all that shit overturned with Ryan Garcia. You got Fernando Martinez down at the lower weights. That nigga's killing down there, right? You got Oscar Collazo at 105. A lot of people don't know him. He's killing down there. He just beat knockout CP Freshmark, who had been reigning as a WBA champion for fucking dog. You remember what I said when I was poor, nigga? He's been reigning for that long, right? So these are the guys that can beat him. And then Shakur Stevenson, right? He's a 3-division champion. Only problem with Shakur is that he just doesn't have that resume yet. When he gets that resume, right, he can get up there. Jay Apisha is not there yet, Alex. Not yet. He's not there yet. Zerto Ramirez is definitely not there yet. Can't take L's like Zerto did. No. So, but these are the guys I'm saying that can pass Tank Devin Haney right now for that spot. Tank Davis, if I had to rate him before Lamont Roach, he's probably at number 15, bro, for me. Before Lamont Roach. Probably 16, somewhere down there. Because I never seen Tank as an elite fighter, guys. I never saw it, and then his resume is not good enough for me. Right? Now, after Lamont Roach, not even in consideration for any list, man.
He's been a lightweight now for going on 7 years and like 2 more months, and he still has yet to fight a reigning champion in the division.
Yeah.
That's just how do you get on the pound for pound list and you're not even fighting like the dudes like in your zip code.
Yep. Exactly. All right, man. We're gonna go ahead and close it out here, man. definitely appreciate everybody in the comment section, man. We had a full comment section from Facebook and YouTube, man. They're here talking a lot of shit, agreeing with the panel, man. Good job, fellas. Appreciate my man Bo, my man Corey, my man J.L. Davis, and of course the ugliest motherfucker you'll ever see. He left the call because his phone died. But shout out to him, my man, the Ugly Zoe, for jumping on as well. Appreciate you guys, man. We will be back with something else. But until the next one, see you guys later.
Yep.